The United Nations Human Rights Chief has slammed Kinshasa for not seriously investigating spiraling violence in the DR Congo's central Kasai provinces. Zaid Ra'ad al-Hussein said the scale and nature of these human rights violations and abuses and the consistently inadequate responses of the domestic authorities call for an international investigation to complement national efforts. Human rights activist Benedicte Kumbi joins me now on the news for more on this. Many thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Well, let's start by asking, why has the DRC's government's response into human rights violations falling short of a credible, transparent investigation?
Because I think that since the beginning of the problems that the Congo is experiencing, this government has not shown a will to really be serious about what is happening on the ground. Today we are talking about the Kasai because this is what is making the news. But people should remember that the situation of the Kasai can be also be found in the Kivus, and this war that the Congo is experiencing has been there for 20 years now, and nothing has been made by the successive government of the DRC in order to change the situation. So I think that this lack of proactivity, this lack of seriousness also calls for people not really listening to what they have to say.
How do you react to an existence of as many as 42 mass graves?
These mass graves, as I always try to remind people, it's just an aspect of what is happening in the Congo. I would like to remind also your viewers that these 40 mass graves and the people who were found in those mass graves are part of more than 8 million Congolese who have been killed since I would say 1996 now. So this is the worst conflict after World War. And it is astonishing for me as a Congolese, as an African, that there is a silence about what is happening on the Congo. And my actually astonishment also is also very strong about the Africans in general, because nothing is said about what is happening in the Congo. 40 mass graves, this is just a small part of the death that the Congolese people have been experiencing until now.
All right, children seem to be the worst for this insecurity, bearing the brunt with over 600 primary and secondary schools being used as shelter for displaced persons. Can justice be achieved?
But then we should talk at which level, because the problem is that when we talk about the Congo, all the problems that the country is experiencing is not fully explained. Today, you journalists, the political people are talking about the Kasai and those displacement. But as I said, this is part of an ongoing war that is waged against the people of the Congo. It has been lasting now for 20 years. And when we talk about the Congo, we should take that into consideration. We should also take into consideration the role that the Western powers are playing in Africa and here in Congo in particular, how the political parties, how the African governments and Congo here in particular are involved in that bigger game. So talking about those people displaced, for me, is not really, I don't want to say that it's not accurate, but I would like really people to be more serious about it and really take into consideration the 20 years that we are I mean, the war that is lasting in that country. This should be taken into consideration in order to understand and maybe give the right answers to what is happening now. Talking just taking an aspect of the problem and try to solve that won't change the fact that today we talk about the Kasai, but the killings are still going on in the Kivus